First at 4, King Charles III gives his first speech as the new monarch and makes a promise to his late mother and the people of Britain. Plus, the final step to put an abortion rights proposal to a vote this November. Nick?
The city of Richmond was hit really hard with those storms last week. There's still remnants of the damage left. This week, a festival that brings more than 10 times their population. So how were they able to manage cleaning all that up in time for this?
I'm 4-1 meteorologist Kim Adams. It's a quiet start to the weekend, but it is warm out there. In fact, 84 right now at City Airport. I'll have your forecast for the weekend coming up.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. The world welcomes a new king as Britain remains in mourning right now following the death of Queen Elizabeth. You're taking a live look right now at Buckingham Palace, where crowds continue to gather to place flowers and remembrances of the Queen. Just a few hours ago inside the palace, King Charles III gave his first speech as the new monarch, promising to follow in his mother's footsteps. Kimberly Gill is in the newsroom with the King's message. And Kimberly, we know it was a moving tribute.
Yeah, it really was, Sandra. And good afternoon to you. King Charles pledged to carry on Queen Elizabeth's lifelong service as Britain enters an uncertain new era without its figurehead of 70 years. The 73-year-old has spent much of his life preparing for the role of king. In his first speech, he told the people of Britain he feels profound sorrow at the loss of his mother.
To my darling Mama, as you begin your last great journey to join my dear late Papa, I want simply to say this: thank you.
Before giving that speech inside Buckingham Palace, the king said hello to people who came to pay their respects outside. King Charles arrived back in London this morning, coming in from Scotland, where his mother's body remains at Balmoral Castle. Today, the king emphasized Queen Elizabeth's historic 70-year reign. Then he talked about his own children, first addressing Prince William here.
With Catherine beside him, our new Prince and Princess of Wales will, I know, continue to inspire and lead our national conversations, helping to bring the marginal to the centre ground, where vital help can be given. I want also to express my love for Harry and Meghan as they continue to build their lives overseas.
Today, a service of remembrance was held at St. Paul's Cathedral for the Queen. 2,000 people were in attendance, including Britain's new Prime Minister, Liz Truss. So this is just the start of a mourning period that will last until after the Queen's funeral. The Queen's coffin will be brought to London, where she'll lie in state before a funeral at Westminster Abbey. A date for that funeral has not yet been confirmed, but CNN reports that White House aides are making initial preparations for President Joe Biden to travel to London and attend the funeral. Sandra, more coverage coming up on Local 4 News at 5. Until then, we'll send it back to you.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Kimberly. Our coverage of Queen Elizabeth continues throughout the afternoon here on Local 4. In about 15 minutes, how cities and landmarks around the world are paying tribute. And then coming up at 5, we're going to take you to London with a look at the impact Queen Elizabeth had on the people of Britain. And all new at 6, meet a local chef who used to work at Buckingham Palace and cooked for the Queen. He's going to share some of his special memories of her. Right now, we're keeping an eye on a situation unfolding out of Westland at this hour. Sky 4 was just overhead. State police telling us that they're helping Westland police with a shooting investigation. This is happening on Palmer Road near Wildwood. And from Sky 4 here, it appears the scene is near a church. We know one person is in custody right now with a gunshot wound, but we don't know about the circumstances. Police telling us there is no danger to the public. They're also saying expect a heavy police presence in that area. Of course, we're going to stay on top of this. We'll update you when we get more information. It is official. An abortion rights proposal will be on the November ballot here in Michigan. The state election board placed the constitutional amendment on the ballot today, one day after an order from the state Supreme Court. The board deadlocked last week with Republican members siding with opponents who said the petition had improper spacing between certain words. The Michigan Supreme Court Chief Justice said the words were legible and they were in correct order. Today, the board voted 4-0 to add it to the ballot. The election board also voted today to put a voting rights initiative on the November ballot as well. The measure would require state-funded absentee ballot drop boxes 9 days of in-person early voting, and then much more. The board also initially deadlocked on this proposal, but after yesterday's order from the state Supreme Court, all 4 board members did agree that they would put it on the ballot. A win in the courtroom today for striking professors at Eastern Michigan University. A judge denied a request to force Eastern Michigan faculty back into the classroom. More than 500 members of the union went on strike Wednesday after not agreeing to a contract. Eastern suing, claiming the strike is illegal under Michigan law. A judge set a hearing for next week to decide whether to permanently order professors back to class. A beautiful start to the weekend today, but you may need to have a backup plan if you have some plans to be outside the entire weekend. Hey, Kim.
Hi, Sandra. Well, we don't get through the entire weekend without a little bit of rain, but the majority of the weekend is going to be nice and dry and a little warmer than normal. In fact, quite a bit warmer than normal. We should be in the upper 70s this time of year, and we are still in the low 80s everywhere you go. Barely a cloud in the sky. It's nice. It's mild. 84 at City Airport, 82 in Pontiac, 83. It's just jumped up to in Howell. Compare this to yesterday, 24 hours ago, we were a little cooler. In fact, we are 5 degrees warmer this afternoon than we were yesterday afternoon out at City Airport. A little warmer in Mount Clemens and Howell, and 3 degrees warmer up in Flint. And we'll continue that warming trend tomorrow. But if you're headed out to Friday night football, the big game at Canton and Plymouth, it will be nice and sunny at the start of the game. You'll need your sunglasses, but then by the end of the game, you might need a little jacket as temps drop down into the 60s. Your weekend forecast, more on that rain in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Kim. A key deadline is approaching at midnight for the Justice Department and former President Trump in the search of his Mar-a-Lago home. Both sides must submit proposals on how a special master would review the documents seized from Trump's Florida estate. The Justice Department appealing the ruling that ordered the third-party appointment. An attorney will now sift through the materials and also take out the privileged documents that should be withheld from federal investigators. An urgent warning today from a UN agency about Europe's largest nuclear power plant. The head of the UN atomic watchdog says conditions at the plant in Ukraine are getting worse, and a safety zone needs to be established right away to try to prevent a nuclear disaster. The plant came under the control of Russian forces early in the war, but it's operated by Ukrainian staff. It's come under fire as the battle plays out. The UN says the plant may soon be fully reliant on emergency generators to keep it running. A lot of people still dealing with the aftermath of the storm that knocked out power to thousands here in Metro Detroit. Some communities, as you may know, had significant damage, like Richmond in northern Macomb County. Usually a cleanup after a storm like that can take many weeks. But as Nick Monticelli shows us, this weekend is Richmond's largest event, so taking weeks to clean up was not an option.
The worst of the damage in Richmond was right here on Main Street. This is where businesses had their windows blown out, or across the street you had the roof torn off the Mattress King. But they also started looking forward very quickly because of the Good Old Days Festival, the outhouse races, the parades happening right here on Main Street.
Some of our windows are boarded up, our doors.
Tony Dorr worked through the night when the storm hit.
But we're still finding glass. There's still glass shards in the parking lot. You know, we've done a good job. We've done multiple trips, but there's still glass. You'll see it everywhere.
The pressure was already on to fix what they could and get the store back up and running. Not to mention,
the big town event for the summer is this weekend, and it stinks that we have some of the windows boarded up, but it does look good compared to last week.
Because last week looked like this. The storm toppled trees, downed power lines, ripped off roofs, and scattered debris all over the city. A city that is now hosting the Good Old Days Festival.
We have a couple of antique fire engines.
The biggest thing Richmond does all year.
We have roughly 5,880 people that live in the city of Richmond, and about 60,000 people show up for Good Old Days weekend.
John Moore is the city manager here and says it was all hands on deck on an expedited timeline.
As quickly as the crews started hitting it on Monday, everyone was just amazed at how quickly things went.
Good thing, because the outhouse races, the parade with nearly 20 marching bands, the pageants all happen where the storm blew through. And the majority of people that help with the festival had to help the city first.
Many of our volunteers that work for the festival are also members of our volunteer fire department, or they're members of the city council, or they're employees of the city. So it's one and the same. We're really a big family out here.
Today, remnants of the storm still remain, but the majority of it is now a memory. So new memories can be made.
It's a great family festival. We have motorsports in the back, you know, demolition derbies and figure 8 races. We have the beverage tent here. We have obviously the carnival and the midway with rides and games.
I hang out outside because I try to get some candy. You know, I'm a kid at heart, so.
In Richmond, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
They're getting it done. All right, thank you, Nick. The city of Armada also sent crews to help because Richmond sent its crews last year to help after Armada's tornado. And by the way, those outhouse races where those portable toilets race down Main Street are tonight in Richmond, and they do start at 6:30. Still to come here on this Friday, Prince Charles is now King Charles, and that's not the only change coming to the royal family. We'll have that, plus also how the Queen's death will impact the children of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Plus, a California wildfire continues to explode, and it just did something that now has thousands of homes at risk of being destroyed. But first, women around the country running for Eliza Fletcher, a mother kidnapped and killed during a morning jog. It's a case that sparked a social media movement among women. Stay with us. We'll be right back.